Hello, everyone. My name is Nishi, and I am the host of your podcast today. I'm joined by Neha Mathur. Thank you so much, Neha, for joining us on our podcast today. To start off, I would like to give a brief introduction of Neha. Neha is a part of the government, politics, and nonprofit vertical covering India and South Asia at Meta India. She manages and drives strategic marketing partnerships and engagement by empowering government organizations through building capacities and driving digital transformation for the ecosystem. She partners cross-functionally with government, politics, and advocacy network to empower them to build community. She also leads by being open and intentional, moving fast whilst bringing bold ideas to the table and driving towards impact through meaningful social change. She has also been a part of many D&I initiatives and coaching and mentoring programs. She has spent over 18 years in government and affair advocacy, driving cross-sector partnership strategy, leading multinational events, enrolling stakeholders at all levels of government, and managing complex private and public sector relationships. In her previous roles, she has also worked across India's largest industry chambers and trade associations across multiple sectors. So I would like to welcome Neha to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nishi, for the introduction and having me here. I am thrilled to be having this discussion with you today. Thank you.
So the first question I have for you is how and when did you develop your interest in the technology field or joining a tech company like Meta?
Thank you, Nishi, for this. So basically, I would like to step back a little and talk about what does it really mean to be in the technology field, or what does it really mean to be technical? Strictly speaking, it means having a particular skill, such as being able to build a website or maybe code a software or deep dive into data using computerized skills, designing an app maybe, or writing a technical briefing. I don't know. I mean, these are all technically called technical field, or people who call themselves to be coming from technical field. But for me, I realized during my tenure in some of the previous companies that I've worked with, that all the employers, or that many employers, may not expect you to have fully mastered these technical skills before you even start working for a tech company. Only if you have a basic understanding, or at least a passing interest which you are keen to develop, is good enough, or maybe just a basic degree is good enough to consider yourself having an interest in tech, or you can be considered to be part of a technology field. We all know that tech is one of the most progressive areas to work, for both career opportunities and for overall from a working environment point of view also. It's young, it's booming, it's the way for the future. So these were the very reasons which made me interested in the technology field. But having said that, my education and my previous experience have been multi-sectoral and have not really been restricted to technology. But yet here I am working with the world's biggest technology company at Meta. So with that, I wanted to convey this message that not everyone, should be restricted only with the interest of technology, or the people who are out there who don't really have formal degrees, but they do have keen interest and they do have other avenues to learn technology, can even aim and look for themselves from career point of view in the technology field. As kind of I got that opportunity, maybe many others might get it.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, because often people believe that joining tech is through one degree or through one form. And it's amazing to know that there's many different paths to go through. So leading into that, I wanted to talk about the education impact on your career. And I understand that you've taken many different paths to get to where you are today.
Yes, so thank you for this question. I think this is really, really important. Definitely, we all know that education impacts a great deal on one's career. And nowadays there has been new systems of education, new training modules that have come up, in the entire ecosystem, regardless of whether we are in school or whether we are in university, there are many avenues to do your education, instead of just formally going to school or formally going to universities. So while I was studying for my management studies, my majors were in international business. I got exposed to many such case studies, many such scenario, and many people, that exposed me to different cultures, that exposed me to things I may not have known, otherwise, if I would not have gone one step ahead of my, regular syllabus, let's say, or regular curriculum, let's say. So I think it is important to have that inquisitive mindset, um, and that learning futuristic path that you should see for yourself, and get exposed to as much as you can by way of learning, by way of formal education, by way of, let's say, informal networkings, by way of other short modules which you could look at, because that would have major impact on your career as you move along and as you grow. So similar to that, my skills also helped me, like for having more collaborative nature in me. I could able to see and relate more with people with diverse cultures, with diverse backgrounds, because of what I had studied while I was doing my master's, or while even I was doing my graduation. So just to share with you that I have my major subjects in entrepreneurship and small business. So I've never learned anything in programming or have done, any research specific subjects, but mine were more management subjects. And so that's how, that's how those skills wherein, you have to be, very, very collaborative. You need to look at from a very entrepreneurial spirit on how to, develop or how to grow your own self, as well as the projects that you are doing, and how you could build on your own networking skills. These were some of the things that I kind of studied well, at the start of my career, and that I think has been major contributors to what I am today, and the career journey that I have kind of taken in the past 18 years.
Sounds good. I feel like, thank you for clarifying, because I feel like, as mentioned before, a lot of times people don't understand that being in a tech company is multifaceted, and it takes multiple aspects of you, not only with your programming and maybe through collaboration, as you mentioned. So thank you for sharing that part. I think another part is maybe your current endeavors and also your overall experience in tech companies, whether that be their atmosphere or any opportunities that are presented through working at a tech company.
Yes, for sure. I think the overall experience has been truly, truly extraordinary here at Meta. Um, as I mentioned, that technology is a very different field, and working with one of the biggest company in your own field, be it technology or be it any other field, I mean, will always be a different experience. Um, at Meta, you will have the opportunity to work with great people. You know, the company gives opportunities for each and every individual, regardless of what level you are in the company, to own your own stuff, to own your own projects that you are part of, tackle big challenges, gives an opportunity to make a real impact with whatever work you're doing, wherever you are, while being unique, while being your authentic self. I think these are the key things that I've experienced here at Meta, and which many of my colleagues will vouch for. So from our, Meta is also very famous for its generous benefits for its employees. So from our holistic benefits to our commitment to diversity, to our personalized approach to flexibility, I think this has been truly, truly one of the rarest experience that I have, here at Meta. And if I can say one word of my own personal experience, I think um, inclusivity is the key at this company. So everyone feels inclusive, everyone feels being part of the organization, and that is something that is there in the culture, welcoming everyone who works at Meta. So I think this is one of the key factors that makes me love this company for sure. Here we all feel very, very empowered. We feel that we are very, very open to connect with each other, to build a community, be it an internal community of the people around, or even outside community, with our external partners, with our external stakeholders, and do work that is meaningful for them, for our company, and for the people who use our technologies.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight one thing you said. I feel like it's not only, it is a big achievement to work at a Fortune 500 company, but I think it's a bigger achievement to find your place in your niche in a company like you mentioned. And we have one segment on the podcast called Mythbuster. So I wanted to ask you a Mythbuster question. So I've heard from a lot of people that tech companies are very competitive and they have this sort of toxic environment, you can say. So what are your thoughts on that? Is that true? Is that a myth? Or like, where does the line draw between those two areas?
So I will say it's a myth. Nowhere near, I can vouch for Meta for sure, that nowhere near toxic is the environment here. In fact, it is very, very, as I said, it is very, very flexible. You can be your authentic self for sure. So I will say it's a myth buster. I mean, it's really a myth, and I can give many examples to to prove that it's kind of a myth, and you could take that with you here in the podcast if you want. What I would like to add here is, it is definitely competitive. So it is one of the biggest company. The company hires one of the smartest people. So yes, it is competitive. It has to be, the environment outside is very, very competitive. The times after the pandemic has changed as well. So for us to be in the ecosystem, and to us to be able to drive the impact that we would like to, we have to be competitive and we have to move fast. So that's there is no doubt on it. But even with moving fast, the culture has been made quite open, quite flexible, wherein people have got a lot of opportunities to be their authentic self, to talk openly, to express their feelings, and to be real yourself.
Sounds good. Moving into one of our last segments. So many of our students are younger. They're looking into career opportunities, or they're looking to maybe change their career. So I was wondering, like, what advice do you have to your younger self, and what would you have done anything differently or taken any different steps?
So I would like to give a couple of tips, if I can say that, to the younger lot, to the upcoming youth. The first one would be embrace change. I think that is really, really important. Change is the need of the hour, and it has always been. Be open to the changes. Look for areas, avenues that you could change, or you see that the things are changing around you. So be open towards it. The second one would be network. Network, even if you don't want to, because I think that goes a long way. I don't think that in my time, or even times before, there were a lot of opportunities to network with the current workforce. I mean, programs like the mentorship programs and many other programs which are available from your school, from your universities, are important ones to do, raise your hands to participate. Don't leave any opportunity to do networking, because having your own advocates, having mentors goes a long way in your journey, even when the people are not from your field, because that is what I have learned from my experience. And last but not the least, don't be afraid to ask for help. I think children or the youth today are not that open, for asking for help. They do have various reservations. My advice would be, don't be afraid. People are there to help you out, but unless you ask, they won't know. So it's always good to ask at each and every step, and you will be surprised to know, you will be surprised to see that not one but many people would come your way to help you out of the way, and help you with your things. So these are some of the key things that I would like to give as an advice. However, there are many other things which I'm sure people like yourself are doing in addition to your own studies, or to your own subjects that you have been following, like dedicated time to reading around. If you have passion for a particular subject within technology, let's say, take time out to read other magazines or outside social media. In today's time, we do have a lot of online portals wherein you could refer to and learn more outside your own curriculum and syllabus. So do take time out to do that. Curate your own public profile. I mean, I know that most of you have already done in today's time, but make sure that you have got the obvious ones. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram are the most active ones. So use these platforms to create your own profiles, create blog posts, create podcasts like these, because these are good avenues to create your public profile and make you stand out. This is how you start building your skill set. And of course, look at opportunities where you could do formal learning outside your course and curriculum, because those additional learning sets are equally important, like small programs. If you are interested in coding, like doing small coding short duration programs, just to add your own learnings and things. So I think these are some of the other things that I would like to advise the students and the younger youth.
Yeah, so I think along with this motivation, I think the main question is, how can students maybe get involved in their local communities, whether that be through tech or through nonprofits, which you're very experienced in?
Yes, I think a combination would work wonders. I think using some of the technological platforms would be one way. While we do have a lot of programs that come up with the nonprofits who are doing, for the community development and through various programs for underrepresented communities or for, separate communities. So do join those depending on where your passion lies. I'm sure that many of the youth may have different interests, so do figure out and do find out where your passion lies. And there would be many communities, many nonprofits, many companies, in fact, who are, as part of their CSR efforts, also engage students from the schools, from the universities, to participate in various programs and to get exposed to various things. For example, hackathons can be one from the technological companies, or community development programs from the nonprofit side. So keep your arenas open. Join for volunteering at some of these. Those are some of the ways that you'll be able to get those opportunities and get linked to people and programs around.
Great. Thank you so much for the advice. Students, if you would like to connect with Neha or ask her any further questions or guidance, please contact her through LinkedIn. That's it from my side. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us. We learned a lot and we greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Nishi. It was lovely talking to you today, and I wish you all the best in your journey forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.